Good morning, Nicole Bernard.
Good morning.
Running a couple seconds late.
That's, I kind of feel a couple seconds late this morning.
Well, hey, I'm glad you made it into the gym. We'll use that metaphor, right? And we know what happens, Nicole Bernard, because you, on your ultra marathon journey, I recall a week ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you right now, and I'm going to give you a dose of some vitamin G right now. I recall a week ago when you were about to do your Goggins challenge, and you texted me the night before. You're all giddy for it, and then got the next morning, and I knew you were like, "Oh, I don't know," but then I remember you decided to put one foot. You decided, Nicole Bernard, to put one foot in front of the other, and then 32 hours later, magic happened. So I bring it back to today where you maybe feel a little bit slow. Maybe it's Easter. Maybe it's Good Friday. Well, it is Good Friday.
Yeah. Happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday. Maybe there's people here today going, well, I don't know. Do I want to get started? Do I want to get going? Do I want to sleep in? Maybe. But I will say to you, you kept me accountable today, Nicole Bernard. Because I said yes, Joe. So I guess you're not showing up tomorrow. It's Good Friday. And you looked at me with this face of, that's out of character for you, Keith.
I was shocked. I was like, what? Was it a joke? Were you testing me, or you were just...
So I'm like, can I record that out of the live show? Because that's actually not who I am.
It sucks sometimes showing up. Like in a good way.
It does. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So good on you for making it in today. And me too.
You're here.
we are here. You probably saw the teaser. I know.
Yeah, a big announcement. I go to check LinkedIn. So before I was like, should I prep before? But it's kind of fun just coming into this. Like, what the hell is going to happen today?
I love it because the audience doesn't know either. Because that just shows how unprepared that I am at the moment doing this show, just riffing as we go. And I know we've been talking about this somewhat informally, but I got to be honest. Every single day this week, I've been having great shows with live guests. I've been looking at post-produced guests. I've been having conversations with human beings that are just kind of encouraging me along. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, well, so Nicole Bernard made a big announcement last week or 2 weeks ago about her big audacious goal, which was doing the ultra marathon. And we're documenting this over the next 100 days. And today we're 15 days into Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Nicole, day 10 into Nicole's journey. I think, isn't it day 10?
No, it's 14.
It was 14. Sorry. Yes, you're right. 14. Yes, 100%. So I thought to myself, well, I have been working towards this audacious goal of building the Business Athlete Performance Lab, but I thought, geez, maybe I can narrow it down even more to get everybody behind a singular goal.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe we can use these platforms and I can use some of what I'm doing here to elevate everyone else, and we can all go on this ride to achieve a big, hairy, audacious goal collectively. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm thinking, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. We'll lay a hook out there.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
Yeah. What'd you do yesterday? We wrapped up. We had a fun show yesterday morning. What'd you do after our show?
We did. I cleaned. Like our exchange student came in last night. And
yes.
And I don't know about you, because we were like an hour from the airport, so we didn't get home till like 9:30, 10. No, we got home 9:30ish. And my bedtime is like before 9. And so if I don't get my bedtime, I almost get like a second wind. So I was up till like midnight, just I don't even know. I wasn't doing anything. It took a while to we chatted and introduced me to our dog who was being not very friendly. So I was like, I don't know. Anyway, so then I'm just up for a while for no reason. So that's kind of why, I was like, I'm a little slow this morning, but for no good reason other than the fact that I got a second wind.
It's interesting how I can relate to this in a bizarre way. I will share with you. So you were up late working, and Nation, I wasn't talking to Nicole last night. So you were up working. I was up. So I did a little test last night. I'll tell you about the test in a moment, but I want to relate to your late night story. I was up late last night, and Brookie was having some trouble sleeping. So Lauren's like, hey, Brooks is going to jump into our bed. I'm like, all right. So I fell asleep on the couch because I was working. I was like, all right. So I woke up at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
on the couch. And I'm like, oh, I'm halfway through my night and I'm still here. So I made my way to the bed for the last couple of hours. So 2 a.m. my time would have been midnight your time. You were just You were just considering going to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I did a test last night. So I'm curious. I think we may have talked about this. I'm not sure. You know the Manning cast? The Manning brothers, Eli and Peyton, they watch NFL football games and break it down?
Yeah, they're from New Orleans, so yeah.
Yeah, you know that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Funny story, I was supposed to go to Ole Miss. I actually started there for soccer.
Yeah.
The same year Eli went in. So we would have been like classmates, but then I left.
But then you left.
Yeah.
Just thinking.
It's like not that great of a story.
It could.
Now that I just heard it, I'm like, whoa.
You know, I used to know somebody that would walk into a conversation and it would go like this. You and I are talking and he'd walk up and he'd say, yeah, so I had a steak last night. Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, yeah, I tell stories like this not often, but probably more often than I should.
And then he'd enter the conversation again later and say, yeah, so I'm going for a walk. Oh, yeah? Like it was never a back and forth conversation. It was just a statement and leave.
Yeah, like I'm just going to put that right there. There you go.
It's actually a lot like today's social media.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Boom. Somebody said something to me last week or 2 weeks ago, which really resonated for me. He said, you know, Keith, social media today is a lot like, think about a cocktail party, Nicole. And imagine walking around an event, a cocktail party, and walking up to all these different groups of people and doing this. Hi, so I'm just doing this ultra marathon thing and I'm going for 100 days and I'm trying this every single day. Then you walk away. Then you go to the next group.
That's how apparently I talk. So that's fine.
Well, I wasn't specifically saying you, but I'm just saying generally, if somebody that's today's social media, just walking up to somebody and talking and walking away.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true. I've never thought of it like that.
Right?
It's terrible.
Like if you took the digital metaphor and put it into a physical space, that's what we're doing. Right. So I thought a little bit about that statement and I maybe coined a new term, and we're doing it here on the show. And morning radio shows, daytime radio shows have done this forever. And I think we're doing a really good job doing this, which is we did it yesterday on the show with Amanda Getz's comment with some of the brand built stuff. We'll get to some of that in a little bit as well. But just this idea, Nicole, of having conversations around content.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So seeing a really great post, having a conversation around it instead of spamming it, posting it, walking away from it. True.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
So much great. And the funny thing is that's what I used to do when I was starting ICUC. We would manage the content and then have conversations around it.
Yeah. It makes total sense. I mean, it's a lot more effective to have a conversation instead of like,
yes.
Hi, I'm from New Orleans and I like wine. And walk away.
And then walk away. Oh yeah, who's she?
Let's go this way.
This is true. So I did my test last night. Yeah. So I was talking about the Manning cast, right? So
yeah, I totally cut you off.
I clearly we have some etiquette learning here because you walk up to parties and talk to people and walk away. You're just telling. So the Manning cast. So we know, Nicole, when the Manning cast started on ESPN, it just took off. People were like, oh, I like this new way of watching sports by watching an athlete that's played the game, hearing their commentary, basically watching it alongside of them. Right. Mm-hmm. So Di and I have two dads in a lab trying to be 2% better.
Today, right?
Today at noon. Yeah. So I'll share the topic with you guys a little bit later in the show. But it dawned on me that there's kind of this brand around this two dads in a lab stuff. People are like, oh, hey, kid, I love the two dads in a lab. You can do a lot with that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do two dads in a lab watching hockey.
Oh, fun.
So last night, the Winnipeg Jets played the Vegas Golden Knights here in Winnipeg. I'm a Winnipeg Jets fan, of course. And a friend of mine who's in local radio here, actually, I was like, hey, you want to just try a test with me? Like, I'm wondering if people would sit down and join the game with me if I did two dads in a lab watching hockey.
Yeah.
So we did a stream. We streamed into YouTube, streamed into LinkedIn, and we watched the Jets games together. He was over there. I was over here. Now, because we don't have broadcast rights, we couldn't stream the game on LinkedIn or YouTube.
Right.
But just like the Manning cast, we watched the game, commented, shot the breeze together, and had a good old dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Invited conversation, invited people to join the conversation. So that got me thinking, so the test, Nicole, was because the NHL playoffs are just around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious and I'm wondering aloud as we continue to build the lab in public. I wonder how enjoyable it would be for the public to sit down and watch an NHL hockey game or a professional sports game with their favorite athletes. So imagine my Jets in the playoffs versus the Vancouver Canucks, for example. Imagine a retired or former Jets player watching the game, a dad against a dad from the opposing team in the opposing city watching the game on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then commenting on it together and then inviting a bunch of other dads into the lab watching the game. So 2 dads in the lab watching hockey with retired sports guys watching the game alongside of them, having chat, having conversation, and having good old dialogue. So I wanted to test to see if there was latency. Like as if, you were watching the game and I was watching the game and I was 3 seconds or 4 seconds or a minute ahead of you. That would not be enjoyable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. That sounds fun. Like, I'd watch that, and I don't even watch hockey, but I would watch that.
I think if you like the personality, it's a different way to watch it.
Right, totally. Yeah, and don't you have a retired NHL friend?
I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I got a few of them actually. Yeah, they just tend to show up. They just tend to show up here in the lab. Oh, hold on. There's somebody knocking on my door. Oh, I thought it was an NHL retired athlete, but it's.
I believed you. I was like, oh my god.
I know you did. Hey, I got a task for you on the air. Can I give you a task?
Sure.
Half asleep. Hey, do you have do you have access to banners on the right hand side? Or let me see. I got to hold up my hands. Or it's
yes, I see banners.
That's right. Okay, good. Go to banners, and maybe you can control some of the banners happening on the bottom of the screen there.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be helpful. So while I'm busy talking. Well, there you go. Look at that. You just did. Look at that. All right. I need to get an applause button here for the show. I got to get some buttons lined up for the show.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yes, I will.
Laughing.
We're going 1% better all the time, making the show 1% better. So I did the test yesterday with Greg. It was awesome. It worked extremely well. So now I'm really considering launching 2 dads in the lab watching hockey for the NHL playoffs. If you're out there listening and you want to partner with me, listen, I can't do everything. Keith and Nicole and the me, myself, I part of things just I can't do everything. Yeah. So if you want to jump in and join the train, opportunities happening here in the lab. So I'm thinking about doing 2 dads in the lab watching hockey and see if we can build an audience around that. It fits nicely into the morning show, the lunchtime show, all the things happening, which fits nicely into the big announcement coming up in about, 15, 20 minutes.
Soon you're just going to be like just all day live, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. So that's a good segue. Good segue to this conversation. So apparently LinkedIn's testing TikTok feed. What's your opinion? Yeah, what's your opinion on that, Miss Bernard? Miss fan of video?
Yeah, I don't know, because then I'm like, is it gonna make it just like TikTok? Like they all kind of like start to adapt each other's features, like Instagram and Facebook, and I'm just like, I don't know, isn't that what makes it different? I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's not just because I hate video, because I'm starting to hate it less because I'm here every day. Yeah,
exactly. You're just noticing you just got to show up and talk, right? And I'm actually going to be serious right now, because what you're doing is inspiring a lot of people who, that's what we're trying to do here in the lab. And here's the serious part of the conversation. Our goals here are to help people get uncomfortable and achieve their goals. There are a lot of people listening right now that are like, holy fuck, I'm afraid of video. I don't want to go on video. I'm scared of video. Nicole Bernard was like, I don't want to do video. I'm like, well, Nicole, it is video.
Yeah.
So
it is 2024. So, I mean,
3 weeks in, she's doing this every single day. And you just heard her say, I'm getting more comfortable with it. So, which feeds back to the TikTokization. So it seems inevitable, doesn't it, though, Nicole?
It does for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit more, because that was the only thing I was kind of thinking of. Like, it's just they start to have the same things across platforms. I mean, yeah, there's a different tone to each platform, but I don't know.
So let's use you and I. I'm the relic. You're a little bit of underneath my relic. So let's use you and I as media consumers who like to read our stuff. We're like, oh, yeah, that's what we read. Oh, yeah, I read, you read. We're like, hey, we like to read stuff. So if we go back into the olden days, olden days, it was read, and then we evolved to hear some audio, and then we evolved to have some television. And then humans loved television.
Yeah.
Right. And it became an alternative medium to text and audio. And so then we grew up with, then we had newspapers, we had radio, and we had television. So the same thing happened with the internet, right? When the internet came out, we had blogs, we had texts. It was all text, because video back in the day was like little postage size stuff, right? It was just these little things. And then we got all audio. And if we think about it, the podcast was born out of the need to take audio with you. Because you weren't streaming content, on your iPhone 2G or 3G phone. The networks didn't have the ability to do it. So, and we were moving from cassette to VHS, so it was like, okay, so we need to give people the way to take formats with them. So the podcast was invented along with the iPhone, the iPod, and Apple just, created that, right? So now we had audio formats we can take with us. At the time, video formats were still too big file size, Nicole. They're just too big. And you weren't taking a whole album. Well, remember when Jobs got on stage and said, hey, you can take 17,000 songs in your pocket? Songs.
Yeah, I do.
Right. And then you evolved to videos. So if you think of time, it just seems to make sense that technology goes through a cycle and we're catching up. So when you look at Instagram, you look at TikTok, you look at YouTube, we're literally just talking about this generation's and tomorrow's generation's television networks.
Yeah.
Right? Where you and I grew up watching passive television, right? And I loved you talked yesterday as yesterday or the morning before as a parent managing screen time with your kids.
Yep.
No different than when I grew up. My parents had the same conversation managing screen time with us, except it wasn't like this. It was I remember, Keith, you can't be sitting 6 feet in or whatever the measurement, the mythological measurement.
I remember that too.
Now we're sticking 8K glasses in front of our eyes and saying, hey, here's immersive reality. Right?
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that we're getting to the TikTokization of LinkedIn because it's video. People want to be visually stimulated. People want to have all their senses brought to them. And I think it just seems inevitable. And LinkedIn becomes like yesterday's business news network. And you're right. So if you got Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, is it any different, Nicole, than CBS, NBC, Fox?
Right.
X is Fox. If you're looking if you want some right conservative kind of views, you might go to X. If you're looking for something, I don't know. Am I wrong?
Like Instagram's like Bravo.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Right. So if you think about BAPL, and to those that are listening, kind of thinking about what we're building here in the lab, the business athlete performance lab, those 4 pillars, we talk about business. All right. It affects a lot of us. We talk about athletics and ultra performance and those, if I want to drive a high performing business, maybe running a marathon or doing an ultra marathon might help. I met a guy yesterday from Brand Built who's going to come on the show who's done a couple triathlons, had a couple exits to his business. It's no coincidence.
Yeah, no. It's like we talked about. It's very tied together.
It absolutely is. Right. So, you take those pillars, you wrap it up in content, it fits right back into that TikTokization of the LinkedIn feed.
Yep. I almost texted you at like midnight last night when I was scrolling, working. I found another.
Yes.
I found another lady. Her name's Camille Heron, I think. She just ran like 6 days straight. I'm like, son of a. Now I'm going to have to like start thinking of stage racing because I don't know, 6 days, she ran 500 and something miles. And I was like,
let's rewind that. Did I hear you say correctly? She ran for 6 days straight?
Yeah. It's a race. It has a name. It was put on by Lululemon. So she's like a Lululemon runner.
Yeah.
So I think it was called Further. Hold on.
While Nicole's looking for this, while you're looking for that, I'll make an announcement to Business Athlete Nation. This is a very serious announcement. Matter of fact, I'm going to put myself on full screen to make myself a little Nicole. Big announcement. Anybody out there connected to Peloton or Lululemon, come knock on my door or Nicole's door. I want to partner with you. I'm serious. We're going to do something pretty spectacular over the next number of months/years. Not giving up, frankly. You want to get in on something that's going to grow like this and is growing like this with people that are committed to doing this. I want to meet you. What we're creating fits extremely well with the products you're selling. So Peloton, let's just talk Peloton, for example, the moment here. Right? There's no reason at all our morning show should not be sitting and tied into the Peloton platform or any platform out there. I'm a Peloton user, Keith Be Fast. Come ride with me, by the way. Come work out with me, come lift with me. But if you're part of Peloton, part of Lululemon, like, come on. We're here every single morning. We do morning show around your content. We can weave in your content into our show. Keith and Nicole can do a lot of good work driving people to your business, driving people to your platform, getting people engaged. So when somebody leaves their bike and needs kind of a push throughout the day, they can tune into Keith and Nicole and push them back to the bike, push them back to the tread, push them back to a lift. Introduce Dennis Morton's new ride. Like, think of our morning show as the red thread that weaves in between your content. I wear my whole closet is full of Lululemon. True story. So, all seriousness aside, if anybody out there knows, here's the thing, Nicole. I'm just going to make a statement. You get me connected with Lululemon or Peloton, and I get a meeting and I get some business, I'll give you $1,000.
Oh, are we going to have a contest too? That's totally off topic, but
we are. Yes, that's going to come up here after I tease our hook here. My big audacious goal. So today I'm giving away money. I'm giving away money today. So first $1,000, put it up on the banner. I'm giving somebody $1,000. Connect me or connect Nicole with somebody at Peloton or Lululemon. And the connection is not going to get you $1,000. Get me a meeting. Get me a meeting with them where I can have a talk with them. I can have a conversation with them, and I can see my passion and my energy for what I'm going to tell them we're doing with our big audacious goal coming up here in 6 or 7 minutes or so. We want to connect with you. We want to partner with you. We will love you on the air. We'll make a lot of great content with you on the air. And I will reward anybody who connects me or Nicole with Peloton or Lululemon with some active meetings. I'll give you $1,000. I'll do it on the air. I will EFT you, and I'll because it all links to what I want to announce here in a number of minutes. Nicole Bernard.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Edit. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
There you go. This is great. So you're all are seeing 1% improvement on the air here. We got Nicole helping us do the old banner work now. So the production value, Nation, is just improved.
If I can spell things correctly. So I don't know if I'm improving it or...
So I guess we should have a debate on the air. Is it going to be American spelling, Canadian spelling, global spelling?
Ooh, that's
your
a good
spelling.
Question.
It's whatever your. I guess whoever
has control of it. They get to spell how they want.
You do have control over it. Yes. You also now do have control over the controls of the studio. You probably can click the remove me button. Can you click it there too? Do you see that? Let's just test it.
Ooh, oh, that's a close one.
Oh, yeah, there you go. See, you now can do this too. Oh, awesome. Yeah, so these buttons, okay. There you go. Yeah, so I'll make these buttons better for us, and you can mess around, and you can help me produce the show. So when we have awesome guests on the air, we can do some fun stuff and so forth. So
yeah, it'd be fun if we actually took time before and put their information in a banner, so I could just
That's exactly it. Yeah. So as we start getting guests booked on the show, we can get their banner stuff created in advance. And speaking of guests on the show, yesterday, Business Athlete Nation, Nicole teased us all. She's working on a special one.
I sent her the information, so it should be any time.
This is pretty awesome. It could be a pretty substantial. It could be a very helpful one, Nicole, on our journey for what I'm going to announce here in a few minutes about the big audacious goal that Keith's going to undertake and add to the list here and invite others to come along for the ride. But listen, Nation, Nicole's been talking to somebody from the current season of Survivor. And she's surviving right now on the air live.
She is. I didn't watch Wednesday, so I'm assuming she's still on based on things I saw her share on Facebook, so I have to catch up.
Okay.
And she's just awesome anyway. I've known her for a few years before this.
She's from Oregon, right? She's from your town.
No, she's actually, I think,
Ooh.
from Michigan, but she lives in Florida. Um,
How'd y'all meet again?
she was on my podcast a few years back. She's like an email strategist. She's amazing. She has a membership that's like super cheap, and she does templates every week, and so
Yeah.
people can take it and adapt it for their business, which is brilliant.
Yes.
And yeah, she like loves all things '90s, like Fresh Prince of Bel Air, In Sync. Like you'll love her. She's
That's awesome.
mm-hmm.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned the podcast, Bubbles and Biz. So, you know, and we talked about Peloton, Lululemon. I think Peloton's done a wonderful job creating evergreen content around their instructors, getting people bought in, getting people buying into the instructors. And I see this platform the same way. There's a lot of people that are going to love your message, love what you stand for, love what you believe in, know that you're a business athlete, but know that, you know, as part of your, you know, journey as a business athlete, you like to have a glass of wine every now and then, have a conversation. There's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome, frankly. I choose not to. You choose to. No judgment. We welcome everybody here. But my point is that there's going to be a number of people like, hey, I like Nicole. I want to connect with that. I want to go for a walk and hang out with Nicole because she inspires me. She holds me accountable. She motivates me. Talk about Bubbles and Biz for a sec, Nicole.
Yeah. So I don't know, kind of few years into my journey of being a solopreneur, like just really wanted a community.
Yes.
And again, so like same thing. I was super nervous to even do the audio aspect. Because I just I don't know. That's I don't know. So anyway, I again kind of like knew that if I had guests and stuff, they would again hold me accountable because they are on my schedule. They're
Yeah.
showing up, so I need to show up too. And I wanted to. I was just slightly nervous, but and now same like this. I love it. I look forward to it every week. I have an awesome one later this afternoon. So yeah, essentially, I send my guests a bottle of champagne if they're in the U.S. I can't ship
Yes.
internationally. But yeah, we sip on some champagne. We talk about our journeys. They share tools that they love. Sometimes if they are like super experts in certain things, like sometimes like Facebook ads or SEO or things like that, we'll dive deeper. So there's a lot of similar to this business nuggets, you know, and it's really just two people sitting there sipping some
Conversation.
champagne. Yeah, which has been in my closet historically, but after yesterday and Keith and the universe and everybody else was like, you got to go on video. So we'll probably be moving back to video. So yeah, it's great. I've interviewed people from around the world. I think I looked the other day, like 208 episodes. So
Whoa.
yeah.
That's awesome. So I invite everybody listening. So if you're liking our content, you're getting to know Nicole, go check out her Bubbles and Biz podcast, her show. I are only going to help Nicole make it bigger and better and include her on this journey with, you know, as part of the lab. So I'm going to keep putting her on the spot in a fun, loving way and elevating the content she's creating, because that's what I like to do. I like to help others, you know, get to their biggest goals. And if we can help Nicole keep building that show up, you know, what's cool, Nicole, is that just by us doing this together, we're meeting some awesome people, and they come talk with me. They come through your, you know, I think you're going to connect with Shannon Houchin from the Pink Lady.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can't wait to talk to her. She seems
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm going to tease some content here in a few moments, and Shannon's part of it. Actually, I'm going to tease in a couple moments. Listen, why don't we take a break for a minute and a half? You go grab a coffee.
Yes,
I'm going to set up the second half hour. Nation, hang tight if you're tuning in. Keith and Nicole, we're halfway through Mornings in the Lab. Good Friday. We're going to go for a coffee break. We'll be back in a minute to 2 minutes. Peloton Lululemon, we would expand it to 3 minutes if you come sponsor the show. See you shortly, Nicole.
All right.
All right, nation. Nicole, back in a second here. I got some things I want to tease with you and show you here. I just didn't want to leave you hanging too long. I know you're patiently waiting. Appreciate the wait. Good Friday. Good Friday morning here, live in the lab with Keith and Nicole. I got a big announcement I'm making here in a few moments. Excited to share it with y'all. Been encouraged, I think, just to get on with it. To make the announcement, to make the official announcement, actually. But I want to show you guys something here, which I'm pretty. So, Nicole, I've been working on something. Hey, what's shaking, Samir? So, Nicole, I got my friend Samir joining us from Lamu, Kenya right now.
Awesome.
Yes. Oh, man, I'm determined. This is linked to the announcement, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm determined to get us there. I need to get you there with me. I will know that I've achieved my goal when we are standing in Lamu, Kenya, taking pictures. You, me, nation in Lamu, Kenya with Samir and my friend Tom in Kenya. That to me is going. It's not about the zeros in the bank account, not about the zeros of attacking some of the. We're going to talk about the goal here. That to me is once we get there, and you look around, you're like, holy Keith, this is magic. I'm like, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Check the box. Check the box. You won't even. You don't even know this place exists, Nicole Bernard.
Yeah.
Except changed my life when I went there. Changed my life. Okay, so I want to show you something. I think this is pretty damn cool. Okay, so nation that's just listening right now, I'm sorry that you're just listening because
sorry, we're here.
Sorry that we're here. Listen, we talked video. You got to be tuning us up to watch as well. Check this out. Watch. Working on a new opener.
Ooh, that's cool.
A little opener for Keith and Nicole for the show. Pretty cool. Mm-hmm. You're watching that. You see, we're improving 1% all the time. So that's all AI.
That's crazy.
So created it. So I'll tell you how I created it, Nicole. So using words, describe my vision for what I wanted this environment to be. All right. So then using those words, create a prompt, and then put that prompt into Midjourney. Midjourney is an AI engine, and then using Discord. So are you familiar with Discord?
I am. Yeah, I was a community manager for like a startup a few years ago in Discord. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you go into Discord, connect to Midjourney, you put your prompt in there, and it creates an image. So I created that image, which you saw, which is this one right here. It's this image here I created, and then alongside Dave, we took the image and brought it to life using a platform called Runway ML. So it takes the image and makes it into a video, essentially. So we brought this whole image and brought it to life.
That's crazy.
Now, let me show you what I'm working on for the Live in the Lab show. Now, this is freaking slick. Check this one out. I think that, oh, no, this one here. Sorry. Boom. Watch this.
I love that.
That's not the one, though, actually.
Okay. That was stupid. I didn't like it.
Nope. I think that's, is this the one here? No, I think that it might not be done yet. Okay, so, or maybe it's this one. No, okay, so bad radio happening right now. Uncle Keith doesn't have what he wants to show you. So we will, so you saw the morning one. Maybe if you tune in today at, no, today's live, today's Two Dads and Lab. I got a different one for Two Dads and Lab. So next week, you're going to see some new drops happen visually to keep stimulating the show.
Awesome.
All right, so should I make the announcement?
Yeah.
Let's make the announcement.
Yes.
So we're 36 minutes into the show. A couple weeks ago, Nicole Bernard made an announcement that she was training for an ultra marathon, and she was going to commit the next 100 days to herself to train for this ultra marathon on June 22nd. She's never ran one before. She's done a half marathon. She's never done a full marathon, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go to an ultra marathon." Mm-hmm. Good on you. Love it. So I want to state this right off the bat. Not in a quest to one-up anybody. That is not the goal here with what I'm going to state next. I am fully supportive of Nicole's ultra marathon, and I'm fully supportive of anybody who I'm now going to invite. We're officially going to call this, audacious goal announcements on Fridays. I'm inviting anybody on Fridays to announce their big audacious goal. Nicole announced hers on a Friday. It's AGA Fridays. Audacious goal announcement on Friday. So halfway through the show, you're gonna come on, you're gonna make your audacious goal, and we're gonna support the hell out of it. Because we're gonna invite you along for the ride that I'm going to take for my audacious goal. So I know we've kind of talked about it, but really not officially, and kind of really drawn a line in the sand around it, and then invited the world to now support it. So here's what I'm thinking, Nicole Bernard. We are now on a mission as of Good Friday, March 29th, to become the world's greatest, biggest talk show on LinkedIn and YouTube. And my personally audacious goal is to be the next greatest talk show host in the world. I want to be up there along the lines of, I want to be mentioned in the lines of King, Letterman, Leno, Rogan, and I admire and respect all those gentlemen, but I want to sit next to them. And you know what? I am not going to sit here unabashedly and admit that. I'm going to say confidently and admit that. I want to keep working at my skill set. I want to meet with awesome, incredible people. I've been thinking about this, Nicole Bernard. You know, those awesome human beings that met with great human beings, they were just fortunate to meet with a lot of great celebrities. Well, I want to take this journey with all of you. There's a lot of exceptional human beings that you and I are meeting along the way here.
Oh, yeah.
Lady on Survivor, Shannon Houchin, Mike Keating from yesterday, Mike Hancock from New Zealand. Every single day, we are at least meeting 1 to 2 exceptional human beings every single day. I'm thinking to myself, Nicole, why can't I meet with them, you meet with them, and then we collectively build this community inside the lab to build the world's greatest talk show, the world's greatest networked community, so that we can stand alongside Mr. Beast. And I'm not doing this to jump onto the Mr. Beast I want marketing bandwagon. No, I'm actually going to use it along the sides of, if I was saying, hey, Nicole, let's start a new company called Burger King. And you're like, Burger King? I'm like, yeah. You're like, what's that? Well, we're going to make burgers and take some and go sit alongside McDonald's. We're going to build our restaurants across the street from McDonald's. Okay, that's cool. It's a comparison. All right. So Mr. Beast gets up every single day creating awesome content for his nation. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to continue doing the same thing in Business Athlete Nation. I'm going to create great conversational content with human beings, interview them, tell their stories, invite them along for the ride with a pure mission of just, we want to be, and how are we going to know? We're going to look at the numbers. And we're going to be one of the largest talk shows on YouTube. And we're going to be the ultimate talk show for creators on LinkedIn. So think of us as, if you want to go and tell your story, if you're a business leader on LinkedIn, come to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Nicole, or come sit live in the lab with Keith Billis. So we have 2 platforms for you. So that is the goal. So we are going to unabashedly, aggressively work and line everybody up in the nation to get in our goal at creating the world's greatest talk show. So Live in the Lab with Keith Billis is on a mission to become the world's greatest talk show.
I love it.
And I'm on a goal to become the world's greatest talk show host. And I was sitting down with my son yesterday. Oh, he bought his car yesterday.
Oh, yay. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. I said to him, I said, Karts, I said, I'm making a go at this. I said, I know that I haven't had a lot of balance lately, but I'm making a go at this. And I'm saying this in front of the air to everybody because I'm making a go at this. I am not going to sit back one day and have any regret. I believe I have the ability to do this. You know, another great name, Lex Fridman. I love Lex Fridman. I want to sit next to Lex and have a conversation with him. I love Andrew Huberman. I want to sit next to Andrew Huberman and have a conversation with him. So I believe I belong in those categories of human beings, and I want to work, and I'm going to work my ass off to go, and I want to sit down with Barry McCarthy at Peloton. Oh, I want to talk to Barry.
I want you to talk to Joe Rogan. I want to
talk to Joe Rogan. I want to talk to, you know what we're going to do, Nation? We're going to start making a list, and you, Nation, I want you to give me your list, and we're going to go and bring people in. I will be the conduit. Here's what I want to do, and here's what I want to do for all of you, Nation. Come to me, let's tell your stories, and then let's elevate you. If I can elevate you, you can help elevate me, and we can do this collectively.
Yeah, totally. And I think people forget how important community is. Like,
yes,
not like just referrals, just, you know, if like you hear someone talking and you're like, oh, I know, you know, like I love connecting people, and that it's such a great way for all of us to just like, you know.
I want us to continue being if you're waking up on LinkedIn and you see something in the news, get to the point where you drop in to see Keith and Nicole. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have the world's biggest conversation. And I can give you all confidence because we're going to keep showing up. And you're going to, you know, months from now, they're going to, holy fuck, they're still there. I'm telling you. You know, a year from now, they're going to say, fuck, Keith is still on his journey to become the world's greatest and biggest talk show host. Yes. So there's no ambiguity around this. Yesterday, Nicole, I'll tell you a little secret yesterday. And I love this because people just aren't thinking this way. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it out loud. I am. So yesterday I thought to myself, how can I, you know what? I'll back it up. I'm kind of excited right now. So I met with an acting coach last week. Not because I was an actor. No.
Okay. I was like, oh my God, okay.
No, he was a guy on my show, Nelson Paradise Parks. He was a guy on my show. He was one of the largest acting agencies, managers in Los Angeles. And he said something to me which really struck me. I said, Nelson, how do you know if somebody has the it factor or has the factor where you know they're going to make it? He says, when I know when somebody walks in the room and they change somebody's breath behavior.
Interesting.
He's like, think about a good movie you watching a horror or watching a drama or watching somebody. You don't even know it, but subtly your breath changes. The behavior physiologically of somebody's body and breath changes. He says when they leave, they don't even recognize, but their feelings are relating to what's happened in the movie on who they've watched. You were moved as a human being by Tom Hanks' performance, Matthew McConaughey's performance. Name an actor, right? So Ryan Gosling and Barbie. You're moved by their performance, right? And you don't even recognize it, but that's your memory of that it factor.
I'm thinking of Marky Mark the other day that I watched the movie with the dog. Like, there
you go.
Yeah,
I'll tell you an it factor, and this is actually perfect for the show and what I'm trying to do by becoming the world's greatest talk show host. Because we don't need celebrities to do this with. I'll tell you who has an it factor. And you're going to meet with her coming up. And I've only met her once. So I should run a clip from the show. I have actually set up, but I don't even know if I have time to get to it.
Yeah.
Shannon Houchin. The Peaches lady. You meet her, you see her, the way she delivers her message. And why? You know how she has the it factor? Because she makes me happy. She'll make you feel happy. There's that physiological effect that when I saw her branding, I saw her story, I talked with her, everything she did along the way from a business perspective, I was like, oh, she makes me feel happy. That's an it factor. Like I still talk about her today, and I've met the woman once for my life for 70 minutes, and there's a few people that you meet, you're like, oh, that energy resonates with me.
Totally.
So if we can help elevate Shannon Houchin's business, well, Shannon's Peach Nation can help elevate us to create the world's greatest talk show. Ideally, we start like at 6 a.m. and we go right till noon, whatever it is.
You're going to make me get up at 4 now?
Or it was 7. Well, we can do a rotating cast of hope.
I'm just teasing.
Your family's going to be like, yes, you met this Keith guy, Nicole. Yeah. And you haven't left the studio since.
I know.
No. Hey, why is nobody trying to be the next Wolf Blitzer or Anderson Cooper? Why can't I?
True.
Because like you probably grew up watching CNN or some of the news networks, and you turned it on, and that human head, no judgment, full of grace, but it was always there. You're like, holy smokes, Wolf is always there reporting on the news. And after what happens is you become trusting of that person telling you something, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like, I mean, my dad listened to Rush Limbaugh, so he had a 3-hour show, if you remember that, like in the middle of the day.
Yes, I do.
And so he was always on, like any soccer tournament we drive to, like headed to church, like anywhere. Yes. Rush was always in the background. I'm like, good.
It's so true. It's so true. So there's the announcement. The big, hairy, audacious goal is we are on a mission to create the world's largest conversation, the world's greatest talk show. And I personally want to become one of the world's greatest talk show. I want people to want to be I want people to want to be, and I want people to feel safe coming to talk to me. So I'm going to work hard at the manifesto. I'm going to work hard at kindness. So all these things that we're talking about, that's how we're going to be different. I want people to feel safe sitting down talking to me, sharing their stories, like Mike Keating yesterday from Norhart. It's funny. So Mike runs this multi-gazillion-dollar construction company.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You were talking about him yesterday. Okay.
And well, let me just let's pause. Let me just show you a clip of the show because I think this will get a sense of what some of the fun stuff we're trying to create here. So let's just kind of show this up. All right, so this here. We're gonna do share screen, do Chrome tab. Yeah, let's listen here. All right, pause the music, and I'm gonna do a little bit of play here.
Oh, hey, coming up on today's show, Mike Keating, construction expert. If you thought Elon Musk was disrupting the world with SpaceX, you haven't met this guy, Mike Keating, Norhart, construction disruption. Coming up today, live in the lab with Keith Billis. Hang on. I don't want him to miss me. I just don't want him to miss me.
Hi, I'm Keith. I've never talked to a sir before. Why are you a sir? In many ways, we're the same story. I came from nothing. Self with your own knowledge. Have you done that before? Why?
Okay.
Yeah, there you are.
That's me. I'm like, she looks familiar.
An Oppenheimer moment with AI.
Fun show.
You'll see the tone of the show here. Watch. So Mike's running late right now. He builds apartments for a living. So I'm late. Y'all want to know why your construction projects are over budget? I'm telling you. Y'all want to know why? I thought I was here to talk about disruption today. I thought I was here to talk about the disruption of the construction industry, Business Athlete Nation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to keep y'all waiting. I know you're all like, well, but Keith, I thought you had a construction expert. I thought you had an expert on the show. I thought you had a guy who was disrupting. Let me make sure I'm just be clear in the camera here. I thought you had a guy who was disrupting the construction industry. And I do. Oh, I do. You think Elon's disrupting the world? Coming up. I am privileged. I'm flattered. Very fortunate. You're sitting in the chair next to me up on the screen over there. Mike Keating from Norhart. He wasn't late. Just took a couple seconds getting in the lab. I gave him the wrong combination. So he got stuck behind the lab door. I'm sure that's what the problem is. You know those construction guys, you give them the keys, you give them the locks, you just don't know which one to pull out. Like all these keys. I'm like, go digital. So then, Nicole, he tells me this. He tells me that his dad, I think it's right around this mark right here.
So I really had to wrestle with my own ego during that time. But what I really realized is that I wanted to make a meaningful, positive impact in the world. And I knew we could do that by taking my parents' small business, scaling that up to have the impact of driving down your housing costs. And that's where things started taking off.
Okay. How old are you when you had that realization? Check this out.
I was about 22.
Yes. And how old were you when Dad was kidnapped?
Wait, did you just say kidnapped?
Right?
I was like 12.
So
He was kidnapped?
you're 12 years old. You are living where in America? In America?
Yeah, in Minnesota.
You're living, hey, I'm in Manitoba. I'm just up the road.
Hey, I like it.
I knew I could relate to you. Where in Minnesota are you?
The Twin Cities.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm literally just up the road. I'm just up the 93 to 6 hours north. I'm like, hey, there's Uncle Keith over there, Chief BAPL Business Athlete Performance Lab with Chicken Mike. So you're 12 years old. You and your mom are at home, I'm going to suspect.
Yes.
And who makes the phone call to say Dad's been kidnapped?
We didn't know that until he got back.
So there you go. I'm going to leave that tease right there. That's the kind of guests we're getting in the show. Regular guy.
Mm-hmm.
So 12 years old, dad gets kidnapped. 22 years old, his dad dies.
Wow.
Monday ends up being the CEO of the family company at 20 some odd years old, going, holy smokes, what? And a multi-gazillion dollar construction company. So today, He runs a multi-$100 million construction company called Norhart. They build apartment blocks. Their mission is to lower housing costs using, innovative technologies, first principles thinkings, like coming to a construction site and looking at it and looking at a project going, okay, so it's been done this way for a certain way forever. How can we do it a completely different way and make it cost effective?
Right. Oh, I love that.
Sustainable, fascinating fellows. So Mike Keating joined me yesterday, but
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, so you meet with exactly kidnapped young CEO.
Well,
Now
he's
he's
so nice. Like you can feel it.
Yes, he was so kind, so kind. So I invite. So that again, I'm thinking my ambition is we meet people like the Mike Keatings, the Shannon Houchins of the world. That along the way collectively we can elevate them. They can elevate us. Listen, I just want to be the conduit. I want to be the host of the conversation. I would love to connect Shannon with Mike and have them do something together. And but just by the nature of us holding the global conversation, the water cooler, the chat, right? Come join Keith. Come join Nicole. There you have it. I got to confess something. I come to the show with these lists of things to talk about. Like I had, AI tools we were going to talk about today. I had a list of things that I've never, we're an hour into this and we haven't even got to it. So I'm sorry, nation, that if you're wondering where the hell everything else is, it's just what it is today.
Yeah. Well, today flew by, which is funny because when I first woke up, remember we were talking about, it's like, oh, it's a little slow today. Now it's just like, poof.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. So ambition is to wrap it up by the 55-minute mark so I can get it cut up and chopped up and pressed onto album and CD and cassette and 8-track and all those platforms. So those that are still carrying yesterday in their pocket, they have the ability to put the old, record player in their back with the ghetto blaster on their shoulder. Used to do that?
No, but I
No? I did. Oh yeah, walk around ghetto blaster flexing. I remember when I got a ghetto blaster. I was in the 1980s. That term is I think that term is kind of frowned upon now, isn't it?
Oh, probably. Yeah, I didn't think of that, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll use anyways.
Yeah, I remember it used to have like the compact CD thing. Remember, like you just hold it with like earphones and I go like rollerblading.
Yes,
and now, now it seems like it's huge. Even though at the time it was like, oh my god, this is amazing. That's
right. That's a great segue back to how the conversation started. We talked about, this pivot to, text media, audio media, video media, TikTok style videos coming to LinkedIn, video being the future, our announcement a few moments ago that we are on a mission to create the world's greatest talk show. My mission is to be the world's greatest talk show host. And I make no excuse about it now. That's when I meet somebody like, what do you do? I'm on a mission to be the world's greatest talk show host. So quickly before we go, Brand Built. Join that community yesterday. Awesome community, meeting exceptionally human beings. Hello, everybody from Brand Built so far. But you know what I decided to do? And I'm committed to doing this. Every single person I'm meeting, I'm sending them a video message from myself, introducing myself.
Yes, I love that.
A personal message. It's like an autograph. Nobody takes the time to do that. We all just send texts. And so I'm going to go, no, you know what? I'm on a mission to connect with you as a human. I'm on a mission to create this global conversation. I want people to feel safe coming and say, hey, I want to come talk to Keith. I want to come talk to Nicole.
Yes. So the article that you sent about TikTok videos going on LinkedIn,
yes,
I connected with him and he sent me a video message on LinkedIn and it was, so personal and he seems so nice. So we should get him on the phone. On the show too.
Absolutely. Bring him on. Yeah. You have all of our segments. We got a lot of segments chopped up on the show now. So we invite you. We got, here's the ambition. We got either 4 15-minute segments. We got 2 30-minute segments. We got a 60-minute segments. And then ultimately I got some 7-minute chops, right? So we can do 7 and 7 with a minute break. So from the business side of things, we got a lot of opportunities for you to join our show, contribute. Again, this is not about me or not about Nicole. If we can elevate you, naturally, it's probably going to come back and elevate us with our goal of becoming and creating the world's greatest talk show and the world's greatest talk show host. So that is our plan. Oh, I just got a text from somebody. I wanted to see if it was important or not. It's not. Sorry, Greg. If he's tuning in right now, I'm like, no, sorry. You're interrupting my flow. All right. So what are you doing? It's Good Friday. How's the exchange student sitting in there for today?
great. She's so cute. She was up for like 24 hours, so I'm assuming she'll sleep for a while. But she said she has never dyed eggs before, so we're doing that this afternoon.
Fun.
Yeah,
That's
and
fun.
like a pizza night. So
That's
we'll
fun.
do homemade pizzas. Yeah.
You know what? I invite you to shoot some content for us and share it with Nation if the kids want to, if want to be part of that, but that'd be kind of fun maybe to see some of that and see you guys doing that. So
yeah.
awesome.
What do you, and you talk to Di? Do y'all have like a certain topic or?
Oh yeah. Thanks for, you're good, man. You're good at keeping me on track for that. You are awesome for keeping on. Yes. So Di and I are going to connect today at noon and we are talking about, this is a good one, maximizing family time, strategizing for a fulfilling long weekend with your family.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So Keith's got to figure that out if he's going to be Wolf Blitzer on the weekend here, but I will, we're going to make it work. But yeah, so we're Di Manual, Two Dads in the Lab coming up today at noon Central Time. We're going to talk about give you some tips and strategies, create awareness on what you can do with your kids this weekend.
Yeah. Well, I think too, like, even if you guys and you guys are probably going to talk about this and even just us all as parents, like, and even like kind of like with business too, like if you just kind of take a step back to kind of think about what's going to happen first, instead of just kind of going in blindly and like, oh, I have to take care of this and this and this. If there's like some sort of a game plan, if it's even in your brain, I think that's just so much more helpful. Yes,
exactly. So I'm going to do a little bit of work today. I'm going to go finish my lift. And I think to take it easy for the most part, whatever that is these days. I'm going to take it somewhat easy. I want one last thing to Nation. If you can connect Keith and Nicole with Peloton or Lululemon, we want to do that. I'll give you $1,000 for an actual meeting. 100%. I'll record it and prove it. I want to meet with somebody at one of those two platforms so that we can get them aboard our journey to become the world's greatest talk show. As I try to become the world's greatest talk show host, no ambiguity happening there. And last but not least, if you want to partner with us, and I'm serious business-wise, I'm going to do this right now. If you want to get involved from a business perspective, I can use your help. And I'm not talking money. I don't want your money. Nope. Don't want your money. I want your commitment in what I'm trying to build here. I want you to say, Keith, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm like, all right, come drink some of the Kool-Aid. We can use producers. We can use guest introducers. We can use content creators. We can use folks to get on the team that want to commit with their sweat, equity, their time. And I'll tell you something, Nation. I've rewarded people in the past with lots of cash. I will do it again. But most importantly, you're going to have a fulfilling, rewarding experience when we end up in Lamu, Kenya, when we end up doing some awesome things as a unit, when we're building. The money's going to come. Don't worry about the money. Join me to create something exceptionally awesome. Join Nicole to create something. She's drinking the Kool-Aid Nation. I'm putting her aside because we met once. She's like, I like this guy's energy. I wanted to see what he's doing. And we kept going. You see us now. We're 3 weeks into this. We're not slowing down. So if you want to get on the ride, I'm telling you right now, the doors are wide open. Jump on, see how you can contribute. If we can work together and collaborate, we keep doing it. If it doesn't work out, we shake hands and say, hey, we tried, right? I'm going to go down and you're going to go down swinging at attempting this big, audacious goal. And if we don't work it, if it doesn't happen, then at least I'll be known as the guy who tried to do this. And there's going to be tons of content on the internet of our attempt to trying to do this. And I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So have a great Easter weekend. I'm going to be here, and so is Nicole. Find her on LinkedIn, find her on Instagram, document her journeys, follow her along the way, and I will see you guys along the way as well.
Awesome. Happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday, everybody. Ciao.